Welcome to Beyond Measure. Today we're going to learn how to create a beautiful gate card in which I got the Make the Cut file from the Make the Cut software gallery. Download and size. We need something beautiful for our sentiment on the inside, so I got this tag from the Make the Cut gallery too. Rotate and size to your heart's content. Now it's gatekeeping, no, gate cutting time. The craft paper is for the wood beneath the gate. The zing about blew my socks off when it cut through this Anna Griffin paper, not cardstock, so beautifully. Now to adhere our inside with our foundation cream colored cardstock with the Xyron 900 Creative Sticker Machine. Be sure to put the brayer on it. This ensures edge-to-edge adhesion. It makes it a little easier to handle if you only expose half of the adhesive at first while applying. Now to score our card. I knew that the track was clear, so I'd be able to better see where my scoring line should be. And this is for the inside of our card. Let's ink it up with some Distress Ink by Tim Holtz and Ranger in old paper and vintage photo. Sporadically go around all edges of your card with the vintage photo Distress Ink. Ink it up, doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. And this is a homemade embossing body. My desire is to keep the frontage Shabby Chic embossing enamel off of the sentiment area. I'm embossing with the Ranger embossing pen and the frontage Shabby Chic embossing enamels. Then we're inking it up a bit with the vintage photo. Distress Ink by Tim Holtz. This is the Xyron 900 Create a Sticker Machine, and for me, with all of this intricate detail, this is the only way to adhere such. Brayer with firm pressure. Oh my goodness, now is when the fun begins. Random and lightly apply the clear embossing ink by Tim Holtz. It's a distress ink. And speaking of distress ink, this is the Distress Embossing Powder in Vintage Photo. Once cooled, wipe away the distress granules. Now this time we're going for more coverage. To do so, I've chosen to use my Versamark clear embossing ink only because it's a little stickier than my Distress one as I need to refill it. And sprinkle with Frontage white and gold Shabby Chic embossing enamel. Heat from the back and reveal a wonderful texture. We are heat embossing with the Vintage Photo Distress embossing powder very lightly and randomly. Ink up your Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous wood grain stamp. It is an awesome stamp. I'm using walnut stained distress ink. Then dust with Ranger clear embossing powder. Continuing to do both techniques until all of your piece of craft is covered. This is the Distress Stain by Tim Holtz in Picket Fence. It does such a super job creating a whitewashed effect. Now, take your cloth, mist it with water, and wipe off the excess off of your embossed areas. Run the wood and the gate through the Xyron Create a Sticker Machine. Adhere the wood to the card, and now partially remove at first the adhesive from the back of the gate and adhere to the front of the card. And this is from Three Girl Jam. It is a self-adhesive border strip in which you can do a multitude of things with. They're very, very versatile. I'm creating a decorative border around my Tim Holtz journal tag and then inking with Distress Ink in walnut stain. And now we get to use the uber awesome Our Daily Bread Designs Sentiment Collection stamp set on a Crafter's Companion Rock-a-Block. Okay, to make a paper rose, create 5 different little flowers out from a punch or with your die cutting machine. In the center of 2 of them, punch your largest hole, and then in Two others, you'll do the smaller hole and trim. Mist with water and emboss so that your petals are shapely. The petals in which you cut the triangle out of are the ones that you'll need to make to where they cup towards the center. And then the others will cup out, if that makes sense. Very carefully applying each layer to one another with hot glue. The first two layers are rolled. Be careful not to burn those fingers. Next, put some hot glue around the center hole and push your rosebud through the center. Next, with the larger hold one, do the same thing, alternating the petals. And next, adhere the one without a hole, making sure you alternate petals. With a light but firm hand, take your rose and squish it onto your Versamark. Then apply your Shabby Chic Frontage embossing enamel. Next up is my craft software Elite. I had already downloaded the uber awesome Cardinal Digistamp by Tiffany Doodles.com. So I found it and pulled it in to my software to size and manipulate. I print it on a regular sheet of paper using repositionable tape. Carefully adhere your cardstock where needed. Put your paper in upside down and print. I already cut out the wooden piece, making sure to cut outside of the little black line. We just created stickers with our Xyron 900. I prefer that my digistamps are 3 layers for stability. 3 for stability. And now for some color. We're using the distress markers and distress inks with a water brush, all by Tim Holtz. Specific colors are listed at the end of the video. Boy, I'm so very thankful at the way that these add color to an image. When using the distress markers and inks for adding color to an image, just think of one layer or one step at a time. It's very therapeutic and it adds great depth and detail. I prefer to cut out my digistamp once they're all adhered together, so I only have to cut it once. Use your hole punch for tight spaces. It'll enable the nose of your scissors to cut in tight spaces. And let's add some old paper, some antique linen. Using a light hand, continue to add layer upon layer of color. Using the layer upon layer technique will ensure that you get the results that you have envisioned in your mind. Now we need to go a bit darker around the sweet little beak with the black soot distress marker. You will love what we do to our tweet little bird next. Ink the entire image with Versamark clear embossing ink and then cover with UT clear granules. Heat with the heated tool, and we're about to apply some mica frontage by Stampendous. These are a few scrap pieces of paper, and we'll use the Sussex Texture Boutique to dry emboss our little flowers in our Tim Holtz Texture Fade in Damask. Before you place them inside the folder, you'll need to apply some clear embossing ink. Carefully remove from the folder and apply your Shabby Chic Frontage Embossing Enamel Powder. Wow, can you say triple emboss? Mist the back of the flowers with water before embossing for the final time. And this is Hug Snug Seam Binding that I'm inking with the Vintage Photo Distressing by Tim Holtz. I love creating bows with the Ultimate Crafter's Companion tool. For these feminine, fragile little vines, we will run those through the X marks the spot 1.5 inch Create a Sticker Machine by Xyron. Carefully remove backing from adhesive and apply loosely to your gate for some dimension. I place the smaller one in the middle. Adhere the journal ticket sentiment with 5 Zots 3D glue dots. Next, a dab will do ya, just a dab of hot glue on the corner for our bow. Adhere our bird with the 3D glue dots by Zots. I'm actually using my hot glue gun to adhere flowers and such. Using the Tim Holtz tonic scissors, clip off the shank of your antique button and adhere with Ranger's glossy accents. These are Zot's mini glue dots. This is what I call the windswept look. Alternating and spacing glue dots on the different sides of the ribbon creates a beautiful effect when you twirl it about. And this is our completed project. A little thank you for you because you have blessed me so. Thank you so much for watching. You are so very special. Be blessed beyond measure.